I'm pumped as like a consumer of the brand. I'm so excited because I use my STAKT mat. I won't say every day because I don't work out every day, but every time I'm working out, I'm on that beautiful, mine's like that green blue color mat in my living room or my kitchen with my kids running around. And I love it so much. And the weights are so freaking smart. But I will tell you, my son, my baby is like obsessed with the weights. And I'm like, you really cannot. I know.
You're like, get away from me.
No, he's like constantly like picking up like the piece that I've like screwed off. And I'm like, I don't think you should play with that.
Kids love the STAKT mat. We've seen like a lot of our friends with babies are just like, I'm not buying baby play mats because I have like so many STAKT mats around.
Honestly,
like,
smart.
Kids, dogs, all of it.
My dog's always like, I feel like whenever I step on my mat, it's like an invitation to everyone in that living room, kids and dog, to come on with me.
100%.
Like,
my dog thinks it's playtime.
Yeah.
Every time.
Go back to whatever you were doing.
Family affair.
Yeah. So I want to go back to the beginning to start. How did you guys come up with this idea? And I know you went to college together, but were you always the type of people who envisioned starting a company? Did it just kind of happen? Take us back.
Yeah. I think we both had like entrepreneurial spirits, but it really, and Taylor probably more than I, has always been like writing down ideas and like always had her things that she's wanted to do. But it was 2020. We were working out a lot more at home, and we realized that we were using yoga mats, but doing so much more than yoga, Pilates, sculpt, HIIT, all these classes, and just needed more support and versatility for the routines we were doing. And half the time, you know, an instructor would be like, okay, roll your mat in half for extra support, or use this block to enhance what you're doing. And we just realized there wasn't something on the market that was made for these exercises. So it really all came from there. And at first it was like, okay, is this an us idea, or is this an us problem, or is this something that other people are dealing with as well? And it was a very slow process. It wasn't like okay, we're going to turn this into what it is today. It was step by step to get it there.
We kept our day jobs while we rolled it
out. How long, that was my question, how long did you guys keep your day jobs for?
So we started working on it in summer of 2020, launched at the end of 2021.
Which is a quick turnaround.
Yeah. About a year and a half. And then I left my job in November of 22, and then Millie left like 2 months later. Wait. Yeah. January of 2023 or something like that.
And while you were working on it on the side, were you, well, I'm curious, because I do think that the best products come from someone wanting something and realizing it's not there, and then realizing, oh, other people want this too. Were you surprised that it didn't exist? Because I kind of am.
Yeah. I mean, that's the feedback we heard the most in the beginning. Like, oh my God, how didn't this exist? And I think there's different iterations of it existing. There are foldable yoga mats, but they're thinner. They're folding for travel. Like, they're like towel-esque. Or gymnastics mats. Like, I don't know if your kids have those like foam play
but
mats.
It's
not for working out. So we really wanted to like merge the features of that and like that kindergarten play mat type thing with a yoga mat. So our exact product didn't exist, but you take inspiration from different places, which I really think like the best products are iterative on things
blends
that
of everything that works. I mean, because then you also see it does work. Okay, so you had the idea. At what point did you notice like, oh, this can really be something?
I remember like when we first got orders that weren't from our friends and family, and we were like, how are they hearing about us?
How did they hear about it?
I don't even know.
We have no idea. Like everything we did was organic. Like we didn't do any paid until 2023. So like that first year and a half was really just through word of mouth. Taylor and I would literally carry around bags of mats to event after event to try to get as many people as we could to try the mat, because it's the type of product that you're like, until you try, you're like, what's different about this and why is it better? But once you feel it, once you use it, you're like, oh, I get it. So we would try to just be at as many events as we possibly could, and we can get into this later, but like we've built out like a whole program now that we loan mats for events all the time and are able to be there when we're not physically there,
which is so smart. I mean, I think that's how I must have first heard. I don't know how I was first introduced.
I feel like we like maybe blind DM'd you. I don't
know. I don't know, but
it could have been through like an event.
I've followed you since since you made your Instagram account. So
oh my God,
maybe we just stalked you. And
Thank you. No, but I don't know, but I've become a loyal fan. But going back to the beginning days, I know that you guys were on Shark Tank, and I want to get into just like the mental aspect of that all.
Yeah.
Because I just told you this offline, but listening to some episodes of you on guests prior, I learned that you'd only started it 6 months ago before going on Shark Tank, which seems insane. Like, did you realize that was insane?
It really
No,
was.
we thought it was like a scam at first when they reached out to us.
I think also part of the Shark Tank process is you prepare like all the paperwork that a business would need to go on a show like this. So like your like profit and loss statement and your bank statements, whatever, like balance sheet, all the accounting statements. We didn't like have any of those.
That's what I was thinking.
Wait, we just like made a website. Like, what do you mean? Like, and which is so crazy to think about because I don't think most people start a business and not know the like basics of accounting.
But honestly, I will just say sometimes the like naive aspect of your age and not knowing
we say this all the
is
time.
the only reason you get into it.
100%.
Because if I had known certain aspects of this industry or what it would become or what I would have to work on, I'd be like, oh, I'm not good enough or smart enough or I can't do that.
100%.
But when you're naive enough to just be like, I'm going to try.
100%.
I also think because it
works.
was the pandemic, like we were like, why not?
Yeah.
Like we have so much time on our hands to just think about it and do it.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah. So basically, like in that prep for Shark Tank, we became a real business. Like the show forced us into becoming way more legitimate at a faster pace, and so there was pros and cons to going on like 6 months in.
Were you terrified?
Oh my God.
Because I can't even.
When I tell you, I was the most anxious I've probably ever been. Just like the anxiety of, I remember being on the flight to LA and like literally like breathing, like just like having a panic attack that like I cannot believe we're about to do this. But
Did
then
you feel that way?
I don't know if I was as nervous. It's so weird. Like we got delayed. Like
it was
3 days.
it was like the
because one of the
biggest
sharks
blessing.
had COVID.
Okay.
And so then we had like 3 days like stuck in a hotel room in California. I was like working from home for Bloomberg at the time. Like I was like still at my job and I was like kind of just like making sure my Wi-Fi worked for that. Like I feel it was so weird. Like it was just such a weird time. I was like so overstimulated by I had a friend's bachelorette that I needed to be on time for. And so I think all of those things, and this is very me, like distracted me from my anxiety. But then right when we were going on, Millie was so calm and I was so nervous, like when we were walking out.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was like my anxiety hit me right in the moment. And
yours was
more,
leading
like,
up.
Those 3 days, I think, allowed me to just get more comfortable in the space that we were in and just like feel more myself and
adjust to the time zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
We tried Goop Kitchen for the first time.
It was great.
It was like a nice couple days. Yeah.
I just
We
feel
got
like I'd be so freaking scared because A, like you have no idea what they're gonna ask.
Yeah.
B, it does feel, and this is my own shit, but not an attack on your business, but it is kind of like
you have no
you
idea.
to prove yourself.
Really nice.
I actually used to. This is so random, but when I left my job, I was like an in-home meal prep chef.
But I was
for
listening
one
to
of
your
the
episode with
sharks.
Sakara, and I was like, wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah, and one of the sharks was actually my
that's so
client.
funny.
So funny. Yeah.
Like, which is so weird. Yeah.
I think the TV show is cut to make it like seem really cutthroat in a lot of ways, but when you're there, they're also just like
Nice,
let's act like
normal
normal
So
people.
nice, yeah.
Yeah. And what did that do for your business? Because I imagine it really helped it.
Yeah, it like changed it overnight. Like we did, you know, the sales we had done in 6 months that weekend.
Wow.
You know, like it just
was
really
crazy.
allowed us to grow.
It was really
And the
cool.
exposure from it itself just
Right.
was
And is that like
incredible.
a continuous thing? Because I feel like Shark Tank's always re-airing.
It definitely
Well, I
plateaus.
guess you can't really tell.
It does re-air, and you get like we'll see like a random spike on our website of like 2,000 visitors at 9-10 at night, and we know that's Shark
Right.
Tank. Like, which it's
Well,
like
because sometimes I'll even look up the brand because I'm like, oh, does the brand still exist?
Right,
What's
exactly.
happening
Yeah,
now?
100%.
Yeah.
And like prepping for the show, we watched episode after episode after episode, just like pause and answer questions, pause and answer questions.
that's
and like
smart.
I feel like now we'll see brands be like, have we met them or did we just watch their Shark Tank episode?
totally. Yeah.
That's funny. So where you guys are today, you just recently released the second, is it as a hero product,
Yeah.
technically? Wait, what is a hero product? Is that a dumb question?
That we use this term like more than we should because a lot of people are always like, "What's a hero product?" It's a core product. It's like
Okay, and then
like-
you make iterations of it.
yeah. I don't know where
In a
we started
sense?
using
Like,
it.
For us, it's like we have our hero products or core products, and then we have our accessory products. So
Yeah.
things that go along with them. But like
Got it.
the brand is about the hero products.
Okay.
But maybe we shouldn't be using that word.
No, I think it's right because I do think like the STAKT mat and the STAKT weights are hero products, and then maybe like the STAKT mat pro.
Yeah,
maybe
the
not.
STAKT mat pro is more of an extension on the STAKT mat.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's like,
so that's like it.
yeah, that's also hero. But like,
but the towel or the bag or the cleanser
like
would be like
using
the socks. I wear the socks all the time.
Yeah, the socks. Yeah.
Okay, well, the weights are awesome and
you.
so smart. And I heard you guys talking about this in another interview. I'm going to try to explain the weights, and obviously you can weigh in. But for a listener, because it is kind of hard without the visual.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. But there's basically the core weight, that's 2 pounds, and then the 2 additional screw-on sides that are each 2 pounds. So you can go between 2, 4, and 6 pounds.
Great explanation.
Okay, thank you. And for me, the reason why I love both products, honestly, is we have a gym in our house, which like so blessed, wonderful. But something I never thought about living in a house, specifically our house, where it's like not wide, but it's tall. It's like I'm like too lazy to literally get up there, which sounds insane to say. So in our like main floor where our kitchen and our living room is, we have this like nice like Lulu and Georgia like chest in our sitting room, and I have my STAKT mat and weights in there. Like I think it's meant to be like nice food storage place.
But this is my gym accessories.
But that's my gym accessories because it honestly, for me, working out has to be accessible and tangible. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it.
100%.
And if I'm doing it with my kids, I'm not going to bring them both all the way up there. There's also nothing for them to do in the gym other than like get into dangerous things.
Yeah.
So that's why I leave them there. But I love it because I don't need to have multiple weights. I just have that in there. And I think it really tells to why the product is so amazing. So what led to that new product and that innovation?
Yeah, so the weights were a labor of love. We worked on them for over a year, and it really came from like just recognizing that we were often doing workouts with like a low weight range and a handful of weights, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, somewhere in that space. Of course, there's other workouts where you're maybe, or our demographic is going for 10 or 15, but like the core of what we were doing was in that low weight range. And you see like the Bowflexes of the world creating adjustable weights. Those flex from like 10 to 85.
Yeah.
So there was nothing adjustable at that lower weight range. And we wanted to create something different. Like we just wanted to take a new spin on hand weights, and feedback from like customers came in and studios and instructors and all the people we work with. And we said like, let's just do it. When we had the first prototype, we brought them actually to Hillary at her like old studio, Soto Method. And we were just like, what do you think of these? We brought them to KK Sweat, to Kara. I don't know if you've ever worked out there. We said, what do you think of these? So we were just like, collecting feedback. We put it out there, and it's done really well.
I'm sure.
And now it's just become a hero product.
How has it performed in comparison to the mat thus far?
So it's like our second or third best performing SKU relative to the mat.
Okay.
The biggest thing that it showed us is that we have a real opportunity for returning customers. So people,
that's
like
what I was wondering.
30% of the people who bought the weights in the week they launched were customers already. They're people that have mats that are coming back for the weights. And we continue to see that. Like the weights are, the product you're taking next if you have the mat, or if you bought the weights, opposite, you're going for the mat next.
Right. Because you guys are selling a product that you're hoping people aren't returning to buy.
Exactly. Like we want it to last, but we also want that returning customer.
Yeah,
so it's like,
hard.
what's how do you,
products are important.
Yeah, I'm sure. Or like, I guess gifting. Yeah.
We see a lot through gifting, actually.
That is difficult.
Yeah.
Something I love that you guys have done, which we were talking about beforehand, is like a lot of collaborations and like fun, exciting projects. What are some that stick out to you of like, wow, I can't believe we did that, whether it's partnering with someone or a collaborative product? Like,
yeah, the first big one was with the Sculpt Society and Megan Roop. And for us, like, we had the idea for STAKT.
Yeah.
Yes, love her. We had the idea for STAKT literally in a Megan Roop class, so it just felt like we manifested it. And it just made sense for her audience, and it made sense for us, and it just really allowed us to reach a new audience as well. So that was like our first kind of big one that we did, and it was really, really great. More recently, we partnered with Gray Malin, which was the first print we've ever done on the mat, which was really exciting, and opens up new doors as well of like, oh, now we can do different prints. Like, what can we do with that? So partnerships have just been a huge part of our strategy, and just wanting to, one, reach a new audience through them, but also allow our customer to find a new, version of their mat, or version of, we haven't done partnerships with the weights yet, but like there's so much that we can do there.
What do you guys foresee in the future of the brand? Like, what are the goals? And it's okay if you don't I hate when people ask me that, because I'm like, I have no idea where I'm going tomorrow, let alone in 5 years. But I feel like you're a little bit more like business focused. Where do you hope to see the brand going in the future? Like more hero products, more collaborations, or like, if you're willing to share, what's like a dream collaboration for you all?
I think it's all of the above. Definitely more hero products. We have a lot of runway for more customers.
Yeah.
And then I'd say like the channel that's grown most in the last year has been our gyms and studios. And it's so impactful. Like when we see studios using our mats, the customers who are going there are then asking like, I want to purchase one of these at home. And also with studios, if they're using it, 6 classes a day every day, they will replace every 6 to 12 months. So there's like more of a, repeat opportunity. So I think just like from a business perspective, like, yeah, more products, more channel expansion into more gyms and studios. We really want to like secure a partnership with a major gym chain. So if you're listening, Lifetime or Equinox,
yeah, I mean, come on.
And yeah, I mean, dream partners. There's so many. We haven't really done like too many partnerships with creators or influencers, and we think there's like a big opportunity there. Definitely. Also, we've only focused on other brands. So. Yeah,
I think there's definitely. I mean, I know like Megan is a creator and a brand kind of when you do the Sculpt Society, but I think there's such an opportunity
100%.
there, because again, like new audience, but also sticky audience, and like potentially wanting something different for a different occasion. Like my head is spinning with ideas, because also like you mentioned the kid mat, I can't stop thinking of like getting into schools. This is so niche, but like I don't think you would ever know this unless you had a kid in this age of school. But like my son sleeps at his school, his nap, and like they all have a mat, but like they're these like huge mats. Oh, no, it's a mat. That's and it's this huge mat that we provide sheets. So like you bring a bed sheet and like a quilt of sorts on Monday. You take it home on Friday to wash it, and then you bring it back on Monday. But they take up so much space. Like in their room where we put all their stuff away, there are these huge mats that everyone's always dealing with. That's so like crazy. Just that I'm thinking like there's even outside of fitness, like literally. Yeah. Totally. What's it like working as close friends? Because I have to imagine there are certain like hurdles, or how do you navigate boundaries and like, okay, now we're friends and now we're business partners?
I think it just comes naturally to us, honestly. Like I say this a lot, but there's very few friends I think I could do this with.
Absolutely.
And we just work really well together. And we know when it's friend time, we know when it's work time. And we have a big group of college friends. So like when we're out with friends, we try to keep STAKT separate and try to just enjoy friend time.
But then they want to know like what's going on.
Right.
At STAKT, and we're like,
so hard.
We're not working.
But I think we're just lucky that
we're also both the type of people that I do think like as much as we work so much, we like to turn off work. And so it's like nice to like talk about something else.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, And I also think it's really nice that we aren't interested in focusing on the same parts of the business, because I think if you're friends and you both want to focus on the same thing, that gets tricky, because who's going to focus on something else, or like whose ideas are better. Like we trust each other 100% in our swim lanes, which then allow us to each allow it to go further too.
Have you fully divided roles?
Yeah.
So what are the roles now? I'm curious.
Do you want to guess? No.
Well, I know.
I feel like
I kind of know you're doing partnerships.
Yeah. So I do like finance, product, operations.
Okay.
I do like brand marketing, partnerships.
So she kind of gets to do the fun stuff.
Yeah, but for her, like that's the fun stuff.
Right now, you would be surprised how fun a 13-week cash flow model could be for me.
No, although I do love a spreadsheet.
Yeah,
like,
I love a spreadsheet.
Fucking love a spreadsheet.
I will say,
I just made one for my sister's bachelorette, and I sent it to her.
Those are the best kinds.
Wait, I had to. Are you? How else would I calculate the price of Airbnbs?
Spreadsheets that we had for all of our friends' bachelorettes were amazing.
They were amazing.
No, like I had it. I sent it to her, and I was like, I need you to understand one thing: do not touch the yellow cell, because that is what everything
Everything will
is
change.
locked and calculated around the number of people, and like every Airbnb is hyperlinked.
Where's
and I have comments. We're gonna go to Dominican Republic.
So fun.
I like need to book the house immediately.
Yeah,
For people
get on
listening,
that.
they've been on this journey with the Bachelorette. Yeah, I gotta get my shit together. I promise. It'll all be great. It's just I am juggling a lot of things.
Yeah.
But the spreadsheet's done.
The spreadsheet is done. Honestly, that made me feel accomplished, and I think she was then like, "Okay, you are taking this seriously because it's in May."
Yes.
So I kind of,
fun.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
but we'll figure it out. Anyway, okay, so you love your spreadsheet, so then it works.
Awesome.
And I would say like the bigger creative things, like we both are like
Like Taylor's very creative, and like she has a really good brain for it. So like she loves getting into the weeds on those things too.
What do you wish you knew starting a business, whether it's with a friend or not? Like, is there anything you would have done differently in the beginning for anyone listening who maybe like has an idea that they're trying to turn into something?
I think like my biggest piece of advice, and I should take this myself, is that you're gonna meet a million people, like mentors, people who pose themselves as mentors, other founders, people who have great businesses, people who have not so great businesses. And, like, you're gonna hear something different on like how to run a business, and like I don't know, just like take everything with a grain of salt and really inspect things with a microscope before you just take anybody's advice. Is my point of view.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because also everyone does something differently.
Totally.
Yeah.
I
And
like
that's okay. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many roads to success. Like, I don't know that I would tell myself to do anything different, mainly because I do think our, like, naivety, is that how you pronounce that word?
Naive.
Like, being
so.
naive
Naivete.
and like, kind of, like, going with the flow and just, like, we always put our friendship first. Like, all those things are, like, things that, like,
Make
I would do
us
the
who
same.
we are.
And
Yeah.
it
Right.
made the business
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I agree. I don't think I would change anything. I think in terms of advice, I'd say like we really try to trust our gut, and we make every decision on like how we like feel.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
obviously like to an extent, but we really want to feel good about something if we're doing it, and also like calculated risks. Like if you're, just thinking about it, it's never going to happen. You have to have an action at some point. So taking a risk, but making sure it's calculated.
The going with your gut thing is something that I've really tried to focus on over the past 2-3 years, because I feel there were times where something would come my way and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I feel like I should do this. I don't know, like, yeah, whatever, not excited by it. And then I would do it. And then that was always the thing that I dreaded the most. And I heard advice of, this is specific to certain aspects, but if you don't want to do it tomorrow, you're not going to want to do it in 3 months. So like committing to things down the road that you're not even excited by, if you're not like, oh, I want to do that right now, then you're sure shit not going to want to do it when it comes.
100%.
You know when something feels off.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah.
And like whether you want to listen to that feeling or not,
I
that's a
know.
totally different story. But like you have that feeling for a reason.
Are there any things that you guys have done historically that you wish you had done differently in terms of that?
I think we had like, this is like, I don't necessarily wish we had done it differently, but some examples I could think of is we had like interns at different points, over a year ago that just were like bad, and we both knew it, and like we both had the gut, like, oh, they're not like really giving us anything,
And like
here.
we
just let it drag on,
and like
it's
we didn't want to teach them, so I think that like like we didn't feel like excited to show them how to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you're just kind of like, I don't want to let you go.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
what, like, I mean, it's silly, but I think that's something, and I don't know. I feel like there's like the gut stuff, but then there's all these like really technical decisions you make when you're running a business that like some things we just don't know.
Like I also think it's really hard because there's 1,000,001 opportunities that come your way, and how do you say no? How do you know which to choose? How do you know which are the ones that are, sometimes it's things that you need to give product for free. Sometimes it's things that you need to pay for. It's like, which are the ones that are actually going to
move the needle,
and which are the ones that are just asking for this product because they can ask for this.
That's what I'm now. I literally just talked about this in therapy, where time is such a commodity that's so important, especially after having children, that I'm now in this place that I could have never dreamed of like having all these great opportunities, but not being able to say yes to everything. And navigating like, okay, well, what's actually worth it? And then like you just mentioned with the product, like, okay, where is it worth gifting or getting in front of people, and where is that not really any return, and how do I navigate that? And unfortunately, there is no real calculation at all, because you never know what one thing could change, and then I get in my own head about it.
No, same.
The time thing is
so real.
Like at the end of the year, we had 2 weeks straight where Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but every night there was like multiple holiday parties or networking things or whatever, and it's like, I think we just like tried to be at everything we could be, but like, isn't our sanity and getting a good night's sleep and being able to work also important?
Yes, and then
on
to
the
play
other hand,
devil's advocate,
take every opportunity possible.
every time I do something,
you're happy you did it.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, I met that one person, and that turned into this, and now she whatever. And this is something with my manager that we talk about all the time, because my gut is always, no, I don't want to go. I'd rather be home with my children and like relaxing with them and spending time with them. And so I don't know if this could serve, you guys could serve as this for each other, but something that's helpful for me is I'm like, I need you to tell me when you really think I need to be in that room, because then I'll go.
To your manager,
I need someone to be like, you need to do this.
Yeah.
And if my gut agrees, then I will make it work. Yes. But it's hard to put yourself in those situations no matter the industry.
Yeah, I think a manager is like a good neutral person to give you that. I feel like me and Millie, like when we don't want to go to something, we both don't want to go.
Right.
Should we just go? Like,
but it's hard. It's hard.
And we're lucky. Like there's people I'm sure listening who like would love like that, a million networking opportunities on their plate, and it's
until they have them.
Yeah, totally.
Everyone at one point you can't do everything.
Totally.
So when you hit a certain point in whatever industry you're in, because some of my listeners are creators, majority are not. I think it goes also with work, like in a corporate setting.
Oh, totally.
Like navigating what's worth your time and what's really not. Yeah. This is very random, but you mentioned that you kind of always had ideas. What are some of your other ideas that have nothing to do with STAKT? Oh my gosh,
I have a laundry list in my phone.
Can we go through some? Because I have one that I don't understand how it's not created. And I'm not going to make it.
Let's hear what it is.
Okay, you know how we have Keurigs?
Yeah.
Why does that not exist for matcha?
I think about this all the time.
Yeah.
Because like I love matcha.
There's something
but I don't like making it at home. Even though it's not that it's hard.
I think it's something with the actual mixing of like, when you make matcha at home, it's like, no, there needs to be a machine.
They make pods now though for matcha pods. But they're not for like the type of Nespresso machine that I have.
I can share that I'm not going to create.
Yeah, well, obviously, because I know
Taylor's
I'm
like
not going to
this might actually be something I do later in my life.
I'm going to give you like oh, you have kids. Tell me what you think about this, and I may create this. So
okay,
if you're listening,
pre-patented, but it's in the works.
I think this is genius.
Okay, tell me.
And I came up with this idea playing with my nephews last summer on the beach. They don't want sunscreen on. They refuse. Don't put sunscreen on me. Bubble machine sunscreen. We're bubble machining.
Okay.
And it's landing.
I'm going to tell you something. That's not going to work.
Okay.
Because that's going to get like
the work.
No, it's going to be like patches of sunscreen.
Well, it needs to work.
Right. If you could find a way for it to work.
Or like water gun sunscreen maybe.
Fine.
But like how is that coming out?
But again, gimmicky. I like that, but I will say I have these like I forget what it's called, these applicators that like you pour the sunscreen in. I have like a viral reel on this. You pour the sunscreen into this thing, and then it's like a sponge on top. So you just squeeze the bottom. It comes through sponge, and you just go like that. And my kids love it. But I'm going to tell you, you might regret not making this, because my cousin, who is like so fair-skinned and like has to apply like 100 on her entire body and still sit in the shade, she had this idea like 10 years ago of a spray tan machine, but a sunscreen applicator at like private beaches and clubs and stuff.
I've seen this.
And now it exists. And like anytime it exists, we're like, Marin, you literally like you could have been a billionaire. Think about that at like a Soho house in Malibu.
So
totally. Well, my mom like claims like any random business that pops off, she's like, I thought about that. I'm like,
give us some others.
I'm trying to think of like something that I want to share that like I won't. Like I won't get into this industry. Okay. One of my pet peeves living in New York City is the curtain in the bathtub.
Okay.
Like it's like a curtain. I always wanted glass, but like it's very expensive to get an apartment that has a nice glass shower. And I mean, sometimes you find a gem, but even now we're in a great apartment and we still have a curtain.
Okay.
And I feel like there needs to be like a plexi silicone fake glass easy install for apartment buildings that you just suction on, pop on. It creates that elevated feel. It's cleaner. Again, it's kind of like a one-time purchase.
Would it be a door?
Yeah, there's got to be a door. There's like,
It
I
has to be
haven't thought
sliding
that one
or
through that
something.
much.
Could it be like a half door? Because like honestly, what they did in our son's bathroom that I found very innovative is it was a gut reno.
Yeah.
So technically the guest bathroom, but we use it for the kids. It's a bathtub shower situation, and you know how if it's a sliding door, there's that railing on the side of the tub.
Correct.
But
yeah.
when you're bathing a kid, that's so annoying because your arms
Yes,
are on that and it
thing.
hurts. So this is a half glass door
It just swings.
and it swings open. So when you
Yes.
swing it open, it's just like a bath.
Yes.
And my arms can be on the side of
that's
the
really
bath
smart.
and it doesn't hurt.
I
yeah.
like that. I love all those products in like the mommy space. Those little like cushions you put your arm on and the neat like
Yeah.
I think those are so cute.
The gadgets until
Yeah.
you like are literally like drowning in them and you realize you don't actually need them.
100%.
You're like, I have a million.
Which is every new mom who's like
Yeah.
ordering at 4 a.m. at Amazon breastfeeding. And they're
Yes.
like, I need this, I need that, I need this. And then you're like, I actually don't need any of
You don't need
this.
any of it. Totally.
Okay, but back to the matcha thing. Like, I do think that has. How is that not?
No, I actually think there are pods now. I don't think there's a machine though. Like I think it like fits into either the normal Nespresso machine or
Yeah, I need to get it
current.
then.
Try it. Yeah.
Because like I saw you
I
drinking
love
matcha.
matcha,
Same,
yeah.
Same.
but
I
I
agree.
just
I don't
get
like making it at
lazy making
home.
it, and I love just the act of like pop push
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with my
Same.
Nespresso.
It makes it so
I
easy.
wonder if it's as good in the pods.
I mean, there's no way it is.
There's no way.
Yeah.
but
It's an act of love.
But I will give that up a little
Like
bit.
that'll be fine.
for the
totally.
ease,
I
maybe.
agree.
I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see. If
There's
anyone's
something
listening who
there.
can create that, have you tried to innovate something that just didn't work?
No. I mean, we're developing a few things now that like,
We're trying to
we'd hope work.
Right,
And like,
trying to figure out how to
yeah, I
make
mean,
it work.
even with like our weights, we can get a little bit heavier, but we can't go super heavy with the current design.
Okay.
So it's like there's always going to be like design flaws, like or things that maybe aren't perfect,
Yeah.
but doesn't make it a bad product.
But I also feel like your customer
they're using that
at
lighter
home
weight range,
is
yeah.
using that
Totally.
lighter weight, and then like if they're going like heavier, they might not be at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Therefore, not
that's true.
needing it.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
What do you guys personally like? You're in the wellness space. What's your take on wellness, fitness? Like, what are you doing to prioritize your self care as like busy co-founders?
Good question. For me, I like try to get myself to do some sort of movement or exercise every day just to start my day because I think it helps just with my headspace.
Yeah.
Of, starting my day not just going to my computer. I have a dog, so my husband and I always try to like do our walks together and like just get out and like have that time for the two of us. And then I love, a skincare routine is always like just
Ellie loves
me time.
skincare.
So do I.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah.
I mean, your skin looks flawless.
So does yours.
Thank you so much. I've really been working on like
Really?
finding something that
Yeah.
works for me, but it looks really good.
Thank you.
What about you?
I'm trying to increase my water intake.
It's hard.
It's so hard.
silly, but like it makes a difference.
No,
No,
it
but
really
it's
makes
hard.
it actually
Yeah.
makes a difference though.
Especially if you're on the go. Like
Yeah.
I never remember. I'm shocked. I will have this with me, but I will never drink it.
Remember to
Yeah.
drink it. Yeah.
But if I'm at home and I have my straw cup, then I
Yeah,
just like pop it in
same.
front of me
It's
and I
easier.
drink while I'm doing stuff.
definitely, yeah. No, I'm the same way. And I've been trying when I wake up not to look at my phone. Like I hear my alarm, I snooze it, and then I've been trying to or whatever, I hit it off.
Yeah.
And then I get up, brush my teeth, wash my face, make my coffee or whatever, spend a little bit of time just
Not on
before
it.
Yeah. And it's not successful, but I did it this morning and it was so great.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
I really try for 30 minutes.
You do?
Yeah. But
Wow.
so I have a Hatch sound machine alarm that is
Yeah, I have the
my
same thing.
best friend. I'm
Yeah.
having a little bit of an issue with the new one right now.
What sounds do you use?
Pink noise.
We use pink noise too.
at night.
Should
Yeah.
I get a hatch?
It gets a little
You need
annoying
one.
Okay.
sometimes.
Oh, really? I
Like,
can't
don't
sleep
know.
without a sound
Sometimes
machine.
I wake up and I'm just like, can you shh? To the
Oh, I
hatch.
love it. And then I do the sunrise
Okay.
alarm,
Yeah.
which if you have one, why don't you do
Yeah, do
that?
you
You
not
know
do
what?
that?
I stopped doing it. When we moved apartments, it I don't know if you've moved your hatch with like Wi-Fi and stuff. It's so annoying.
Well, so this is my
And then
issue
it got
right
confused,
now.
and now I just like manually click
Tap
it for
it.
the noise. But I need to get it back on my phone.
We have a dead zone in our house for Wi-Fi. That's like one corner that I guess was added on, but there's some beam that blocks it. No matter how many Verizon people we have
Can't do
over,
an extenders.
no,
It's
no
so
matter
what?
how
That's
many
crazy.
extenders we have,
crazy.
and it happens to be like it's fine in terms of the main floor of our house. Kind of. There was a real issue where it was actually where our TV was, and so it couldn't connect to any of the apps. It's my bedroom, my side of the bed. And our bathroom. And the Verizon guy came over, and I was like, the bathroom, like, I can't get internet in the bathroom. He's like, why do you need internet in the bathroom? And I was like, sir, what are you doing on the toilet? You're not on your phone? Like,
That's
what do you
really
mean?
funny.
But my side of the bed. So I have to, like, lean over to Joe's side if I have to do something. And I'm noticing with our new one, it's disconnecting every once in a while, which is waking me up in the middle of the night when the sound stops.
Goes off.
So I got to figure that out. But anyway, I do the meditative, like, sunrise.
Okay.
And then,
With like the light and all
yeah,
that.
so it does the sunrise and it's birds chirping.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's what wakes me up.
That's
So I
really
don't even
nice.
look at my phone.
That's amazing.
I go downstairs.
Is your phone plugged in next to you though? Or do you,
Yeah,
like,
but I
keep it-
just honestly now I'm in the habit of just grabbing it and not looking at it and
Great.
going downstairs. And I like have a big glass of water. I do my journaling. I try to sit in silence for 5 minutes, which just seems so easy, but like it's really hard for me. Usually when I pay attention to my dog, 'cause it's like the only attention he gets
Yeah.
from me, sadly, after children. And then I'll make my coffee and then I'll sit down and I'll like answer everyone who's texted me post 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it.
That's like
Yeah, I
great.
love that.
I need to be better.
Same.
At that.
I'm trying.
I even just want to start plugging my phone into like another room so it makes me get up even to just like
Yeah.
Right. Do you like, are you someone who's like on your phone in bed?
yes, I've tried I'm trying to get better at it, but yes, and
Yeah.
it's all because my alarm's on my phone, so it's like I click it in the
That's
morning
why
and
I
then
have
it
to-
like
yeah.
is there, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I say this all the time about social. Like I was texting my family about this the other day where I was like, social is making me so anxious right now with everything happening in our country. And my sister's like, just go on it less. I'm like, that's like asking, and
It's like that's
this
just our
isn't
jobs.
comparable, but like an alcoholic to be a bartender.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I have to be on the
Yeah.
apps for
Yeah,
my
totally.
job.
I think about this a lot because like I do a lot of the social stuff for STAKT,
Right.
and it's like even if I wanted to like take a break,
Right.
how can I? Like I have to be on it to be posting things for our brand.
It's me every day.
Yeah.
Every day trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird dynamic.
It's a it's a really really weird dynamic, but I do think one of the best things for my mental health, specifically as someone who like works for themselves like you guys do, is like no phone in the bed at all. Like at night, no
Wow.
phone,
That's
not
great.
allowed. We walk into our bedroom and it gets plugged in.
And also Joe.
yeah, I was
doesn't-
just about to ask, does your husband do
He
that too?
isn't on social,
Okay.
so
Okay.
like he'll sometimes like if he's in a text group, like
Yeah.
that's the hardest thing for me is shutting off my group chats because
Mhm.
I'm in so many. It's
Yeah.
like
Same.
kind
and
of
it's, like,
nauseating.
fun. Sometimes
It's so
like,
fun,
your
but,
friends
like,
are having a
it's
good
too
laugh
many.
in there. I know.
Yeah.
I'm in too many.
Yeah.
Like they're just active. They're really active. But I joke with Joe. He's such a smile texter, so he'll be like smirking at his phone,
So
like as
is
if
my
he's flirting with
husband.
someone. I'm like, "Who are you texting?" And he's like, "You just wouldn't understand." And it's his like fantasy football
Yeah,
chat.
like some literally
meme of,
same.
like a
Yeah,
referee.
but he's like a really funny group texter. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I'm in group text with him, I laugh so hard because I'm like, "You're really good at this." But we really try like no phone. We read at night every
Yeah.
night for like 30 to an
Yeah.
hour.
We're trying to do that more. What are you reading right now?
Okay. When I say I'm a reader,
Yeah.
I solely read smut romance novels.
really?
Are you
I
reading
need
the
to be
new
The
very
Tinks
clear.
book?
That's not out yet.
Oh, it's not out yet.
I will read that when it comes out.
Okay.
Yes, I'm reading Onyx
Onyx
Storm.
Storm. I just bought it. I need to start it.
Okay,
You
so
got
you
it?
read Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just tell you, by the time this comes out, I will have finished the book, but I've been talking about it on my stories. The way that the first 25 to 30% of this book gaslit me to believe that I never even read
That's
the
what
first two.
I've been seeing this
Wait,
everywhere.
everyone's like, I gotta reread.
No,
the
no,
first
no.
two.
Even if I've
No,
had
Have you
people,
never heard of the
I-
characters? Is that what it's like?
First of all, I posted a whole goddamn story being like, I can't figure out anything that's happening. All I know is that I relate to like Xander and Violet, and people were like, not you calling Xander Xander. And I'm like, see, this is how far. Like,
Yeah.
I need my like either pro athlete and like hometown girl who
Yeah.
have like
yeah.
very average names.
Yes.
Or like my ranch cowboy people. This is just, there's so many names and positions and
I know.
cities and my brain feels like.
I feel like everyone's like, I reread the first two books to prepare for it, and I still don't even know.
Well,
what's
so
going
that
on.
made me feel better because people messaged me that. Because part of me was like, should I have reread them? And I was wondering, Joe read them after me, so I'm like, if when he reads the third, will he understand what's happening?
Did he like it?
He did.
Yeah.
It was like I've been trying so hard to get him to read A Court of Thorn and Roses.
Millie loves that.
I mean, nothing.
Taylor, you have to read it.
Will ever compare.
It's amazing.
To the feelings that you experience while reading that series for the first time. Like, there's such a deep desire to go back to that time to experience it for the first time, which sounds
I'm
so.
gonna read it.
I'm not done with them yet, so like
a book right now. I'm like, I need to finish it so I can.
See, I give up on books. If I'm crawling, I'm out. Anyway, that's what I read, but it's my escape. Like, I need something that has nothing to do with my life.
Same.
And this is so embarrassing, but reading, and truly the reason why I created the journal and adult coloring affirmation book is because it does not allow me the opportunity to grab my phone.
Yeah. You're like totally in
if I'm watching a show, like I'm still grabbing my phone. My hands are available. When I'm reading, my hands are. This is so sad.
No, but it's
this
so
is how
true.
we've hit as a society.
I know.
My hands are busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then have you seen those Kindle readers that people have where it's like?
I mean, the way I want to get one so badly.
Yeah, they hit the remote.
No, I want it so badly because I'm on my side and like I'll lean my Kindle on Joe's arm and he's like, I don't like this. And I'm like, I need something to prop it up on and get comfortable. But once you go Kindle, it's like so hard to go back. It's so hard.
I go through phases where I do like turning pages, but now I'm back on my Kindle phase.
Oh, good.
I can't lay. Like I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, for people who want more of you and want to support the company and try the products, where can they find you?
So our socials are ShopStacked,
Yeah.
ShopStakt. Website, shopstack.com. And then you could find our personal pages somewhere on there as well. I'm Taylor Servette, and she's Millie Densing. We don't know what names to go with because we recently got married, so.
Oh, that's hard.
It's hard. We're like, we started the business under
your maiden names.
Our maiden names. So like, how do we switch that, or do we not? So yeah.
Did you legally change your names?
I just did,
I haven't yet.
I just did the first
process
step.
ever.
I know.
Like people act like it's easy. It's not.
No,
I would die
it's
on
also
that
just
hill.
time consuming.
It's
I feel like I'll
so
do when I have
much
kids or
time
something
consuming.
to like tie the whole family. Like I do want to take Alex's name, but I'm not like the paperwork is like not worth my time right now.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and
you
I
could call me whatever.
Right. I thought I did it, and then I went to like change my license to New Jersey when we moved. And for any Jersey people out there, maybe this is every state, I don't know. I like brought all the right things, and they were like, well, you've previously had a New Jersey license under a different name, so where's your marriage certificate? And I'm like, well, no one told me I needed that.
Yeah.
Like, here's my social security that has my new name. Why do you need a marriage certificate?
Yeah.
So then I ended up having an expired license for like 3 months after having a baby, which I didn't know until I went to get their birth certificate.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a process.
It's such a process.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on here.
Thank
And I'm
you.
so excited for everything that STAKT has in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is great.